Today, we're talking about breaking the cycle of your past, even if you're afraid. This is a message for every woman out there who still has a little girl inside of her. The girl who's not very brave, feels alone, and worries that she just doesn't have anyone in her corner. If you're one of my regular readers, you know that my goal is to help you feel better about yourself, believe in your abilities, and to help you see that you're stronger than you think you are. I usually try to be warm but professional in my writing, and I don't often share things about my own life. But a friend recently convinced me that sharing a bit more about my own story might actually help others. So today, I'm being brave. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about who I am and why I write. And I really hope you find strength from my words. I grew up in a small town in Rhode Island. It was one of the poorest towns in the state, with a lot of people out of work and struggling to get by. My family was one of those families. Before my stepfather came into our lives, we had to get help from the government just to survive. My real father didn't even know how to read or write and just couldn't keep a job. My mother hadn't finished high school, but she did everything she could to keep us safe and fed with what little we had. There were a lot of problems with mental health in my family too, which made my childhood very difficult and eventually led me, I believe, to become a social worker. Things did get a little better financially when my real father passed away and my stepfather, who was an electrician, joined our family. Although he was an alcoholic and had mental health issues of his own, which definitely made our home life difficult. About halfway through my senior year of high school, I was forced to move out on my own. This was terrifying. I felt abandoned. But this too was a result of my stepfather's mental health struggles. It's a memory that still haunts me to this day. I don't share any of this to get sympathy or to judge my family, especially my mother, who did an incredible job given the awful circumstances she was handed. I share it because it would have been so easy to stay trapped in that cycle of poverty, addiction, and mental illness. But somehow a tiny spark survived inside me. A quiet voice told me that I wanted more for my life and that I was capable of building it. So instead of staying stuck, I allowed that spark to grow. I went on to not only graduate from high school while living on my own, but then to go out on to college and graduate school. I ultimately became a social worker and more recently a published author. I'm grateful and proud that I nurtured that spark all those years. And I want that same spark to light up in you. I know that there might still be a little girl inside you who feels that gap between the life you have and the life you want, and that the gap is just too wide. But you are stronger than you realize, and you deserve a life that belongs fully to you. Stop making yourself small because it's what others expect. Stop living to satisfy everyone else. Stop believing that where you started is as far as you can go. Will changing the path be easy? Not at all. But you can do it anyway. To that little girl inside you, do it afraid, do it now, do it for her. Thank you for letting me share a bit more of my heart with you today. If these words resonated with you, please consider sharing this post with a friend, a sister, or any woman in your life who needs a gentle nudge to stop playing small. Let's help each other do it afraid. And if you're new here, Please consider subscribing to The Authentic Voice for weekly encouragement, journaling prompts, permission slips, and reminders to help you step into your strength. Before we go, I want to leave you with this week's permission slip. Permission to believe that where you started isn't where you have to stay. You can find a digital copy of that ticket and all the links in the show notes. And now I want to share a couple of pages from my own journal with you. On the author front, behind the scenes, I've been quietly building something new for you. Many of you have reached out over the last few months asking about how to take the ideas we discuss here and actually put them into practice in your daily life. So I'm working on a brand new series of mini courses called Beyond the Blog. Instead of just giving you more to read, these are designed to be hands-on, interactive lessons that you can complete in as little as an afternoon. My goal is to help you build tangible, real-world skills that you can implement immediately to start changing your narrative. I can't wait to share all the details with you very soon, so stay tuned. And on a personal note, my heart feels so full this week. I had a rare treat of spending some quality time with an old friend who lives about 9 hours away from me. Because of that distance, moments like these don't happen nearly as often as we'd like, which made our time together even better. We spent hours laughing, catching up on life, reminiscing over old memories, and lingering over a fabulous Middle Eastern meal. It was such a grounded, refreshing reminder of how precious those long-standing friendships truly are. I'm Melissa Ann Palmer, and remember, your voice is the most authentic thing you own. I'll see you next time.